What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of U4 Solo Leveling Season 2. This is episode 12, and with me, as always, I have Loosebait.
Yeah, we're finally at the penultimate episode of season 2, and of course, this is the big fight between Sung Jinu and the Ant King, and pretty much
Does he ever get a name, by the way? Like, because I thought I saw his name was like, was it like Beru or something like that? Or he had like a name.
Okay, that's a minor. That's kind of a bit of a minor spoiler, but yeah, that's his.
Okay.
That's his shadow name that Jinu gives him as soon as he brings him back as a shadow. But yeah, but much of this episode is, of course, the fight between the Ant King and Jinu, and they do not hold back with the animation throughout this entire fight. Of course, Jinu reveals like how he doesn't really explain how he got there, but we already know like he uses his shadow exchange ability to transfer himself in his shadow's place, because he left several of his shadows in several of the S rank hunters. I do want to address some people's criticisms about why it took Jinu this long just to arrive there. We already know that there was a broadcast of the whole island raid, but if there was of course a broadcast delay. I think they said it was like a 5-10 minute delay of the footage, because technically that broadcast wasn't technically live at the time. So Jinu didn't really figure this out until like maybe when it reached up to that point of the broadcast. And also not to mention the fact that his shadows don't have any way to send any signals, to notify him of what's happening to the other hunters that he left him with.
Yeah. So once Jinwoo does arrive, he uses the he uses he has health vials that he got to heal the other hunters. However, it doesn't work on Shahain because her HP is too low for it to be effective.
Yeah, I mean she's literally just in a worse shape than all the other hunters, considering how much damage they sustained against the Ant King. Of course, that he has to hold off on helping Shahain to face off against the Ant King, in which the entire fight itself was, I guess you could say, a little bit reminiscent of One Punch Man of sorts, because it kind of
some moments remind me a little bit of
some moments were kind of similar, because they just keep trading blow for blow with their fists on numerous occasions before they finally use their blades to fight against each other. A couple of points where Jinu was nearly at a disadvantage when he got temporarily poisoned by the Ant King. But of course, we already knew that Jinu has poison resistance. It just took some time for Jinu to adapt to that kind of poison. And then, of course, in the middle of the fight, he receives a new ability called Mutilation. Of course, it immediately maxed out as soon as he receives it, and he just completely just chops this ant to bits. Regardless of the fact that this ant can regenerate his limbs on numerous occasions.
Well, yeah, and that new ability, it kind of just saved him sort of in the nick of time, because it looked like he was about to have his eye just poked out.
Yeah.
Also, I should mention, we do see what ends up happening to Goto. He gets his head. It looks like he got his head cut off.
Yeah.
Although in the last episode is a little bit ambiguous as to what happened to him, but yeah, we see what happened to him in this episode, which, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, all the other Japanese hunters confirmed that, that he has no life signs, so he's pretty much dead. So all that hype of him being the strongest Japanese hunter was just pretty much thrown out the window as soon as he fought against I wouldn't say it was much of a fight. It's just it was just a one shot blow against Goto, and he's just immediately dead. And this, of course, does not sit well with the higher ups of the Japanese Hunters Association. And of course, they are still looking to take advantage of the situation by having their remaining hunters, like whatever's left of them, I guess, because more than half of like they had like a dozen Japanese hunters, and like more than half of them are already killed off by the Ant King. So now they're
Well,
like,
we see like a few of them, I think, that are still on the island, and one of them's like we need to retreat. But the woman's like, it's something like, well, no, we should like stick around. I forget exactly, but
yeah, just like,
uh,
well, just have, because one guy's just like literally just freaking out at the fact of how
yeah,
powerful the Ant King was, and saying that like they have no chance, they don't stand any chance against him. Um, but of course, I guess I could assume that they, as soon as the broadcast is brought back online, everyone in in the entire world, well, actually, mostly I guess you could say Japan and Korea, know that Juno is fighting the Ant King. What's funny is like Junu's mom like has almost has no reaction of what's happening during the live broadcast. She's just basically just working in the kitchen. Um, but yeah, everybody is happy that Jinu finally arrived at the island to help out against the Ant King.
yeah. Well, and I mean, and even Chairman Go, like, is he's like, oh, good, Jinwoo finally showed up.
Yeah, it's just like literally just crushes the armrest of his chair. So yeah, but yeah, overall the fight itself, like it was not one sided at least, but yeah, it was still good
Yeah,
enough to the point where where Jinu eventually pushes the Ant King back to the point where the Ant King just is just a little just shivering in fear of Jinu's presence, because he like he just could not comprehend like how much more powerful he is.
and it's also, and Jinwoo is also like trying to finish the fight as quickly as possible, just so that he can get get Shaheen some help.
Yeah.
Um, which yeah, after the fight, he rushes back over to Shaheen. Um, but and try well, he tries to use the potion, same potion he used on his mom, to try to bring her back, but that won't work either. Because I think the system says something like, she was something like she doesn't meet the requirements for it, or something
No,
like that.
it's
Like,
like she doesn't have like the similar type of condition that his
yeah,
mother had. So I guess I think it doesn't work on like in physical damage. I think it works in mostly in just like um I don't know, like just like like medical ailments. I don't know like how to pronounce it, but yeah,
yeah,
she doesn't meet certain conditions for her to receive that kind of healing. Uh,
yeah. And then the episode just cuts off like right when I guess Jinwoo, it looks like he's about to activate his ability or something, and I don't know, maybe he's gonna. I'm not exactly sure. Like, we still don't know like how he plans to get Shaheen to help in time. Um, so I guess maybe we'll see that. I think it's probably gonna be like the last episode of
yeah,
this course. So, um, but yeah, I thought this is probably like, it was a pretty good episode in terms of animation. Like, I honestly, like, even though we've already had episodes that look really good, like this one, I feel like surpassed even those. Like it like you said, it kind of reminded me of the scene of from One Punch Man, with the I forget the guy's name, but that dude that Saitama was fighting in the near the end of the
yeah,
first season. It kind of reminded me of that, where it felt like they just like really went crazy on the animation budget. So yeah, I mean, that was pretty impressive. I thought it's definitely the best the show has looked. And that, I mean, that's even saying something, because the show, I feel like, has looked pretty consistently good in terms of the fight scenes. Um, but yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the episode, though. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
yeah. It was everything that I expected to play out. I think the fight itself surpassed the manhwa, in my opinion, because they kind of added a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to the fight, which I did not expect. They just really put more impact on a lot of the moves that they threw against each other. And of course, I did like how the fight concluded, like just showcasing how fearful the Ant King was when he was going up against Juno in his last moments. Almost symbolic
Hmm.
in a way, like seeing like the Ant King just just on the ground, just looking up at Juno. It's just like just witnessing how powerful he is.
Yeah. But yeah, guys. That all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.